Hi guys, this is the second in my series of videos for the absolute chess beginner. As I mentioned in my first video, I'm not going to assume any chess knowledge here. I'm going to assume that you don't know anything about chess, and we're going to go over all the basics from the very beginning. In the first video I went over the chess board. In this video I'm going to look at the chess pieces. What do they look like? Which one is the king? Which one is the queen? Which one is the castle? And that sort of thing. And also review different types of chess sets, which one you ought to buy for serious club or tournament play. Well, I suppose the first thing that I ought to cover is that there is no castle. A lot of people incorrectly call a rook a castle. Castling ought to be properly applied to a type of move in a game of chess. It doesn't apply to the rook. This is the rook. It actually looks a little bit like the tower of a castle, doesn't it? But that's what the rook looks like. I've got several different photos of different kinds of rooks, but they all have a very similar kind of look. The next piece is the knight. Most people know the knight. It's fairly obvious. It looks somewhat like a horse. Don't call this a horse, though. The king and queen might be a bit tricky. They both look like they have a crown on their head. And one sure sign that the piece is the king is that it's the tallest piece on the board. The king also usually has a cross or something like a cross on the top of his head. Sometimes it's very much stylized. Most chess kings have it. The cross on the top of his head is quite stylized. The queen has something that looks more like a crown, like a tiara or a coronet. And the queen is usually a little bit shorter than the king. The bishop wears a hat with a distinctive slash. Almost all chess bishops have this slash, either actual or represented. I think this is supposed to remind us a little bit of the cleric's mitre, and it really does. The pawn is the smallest of the chess pieces, and normally has a simple round head or is very simply represented. Here's a modern-looking pawn. I've got several chess sets that I've collected over the years. You ought to get a kind of a chess set that is where the king is between 3.5 to 4 or 4.25 inches tall. The king on the left in these shots is a standard size king, and it's about 3.75 inches tall. Here's a king that is over 5 inches tall. This is from a set that I got in Mexico many years ago. Completely unsuitable for normal play, but it's sort of nice. For the beginning player, you should get a sturdy, inexpensive set that isn't eccentric. No Civil War chess sets or cartoon character chess sets. A good choice is the simple plastic pieces that come with a vinyl roll-up board. And if you look at the article that accompanies this video on my blog, you can find a link to a good choice for the beginning chess player. The pieces will last for years, very sturdy, and they can be used for casual play. You can use them at your chess club or take them to tournaments. In fact, these pieces are the most common at chess tournaments. If you get the chess sets from a department store, most of those have kings that are too small. This king here, as you can see, is too small. The pieces should be of the standard Staunton form. Other sets that are not in that form can be very difficult to distinguish one piece from another. Sometimes it's difficult to tell the king from the queen or the bishop from the pawn. The cartoon character set might be fine for your family room, but it's not acceptable for chess club or tournament play. Alright, well that's all for now. The next video is going to be about chess equipment in general, including chess clocks. And from there we'll move on to how the pieces move. Thanks. Visit my blog at chessstrategiesblog.com.